Hi there, it's James here at Remo Free. And in this short video, I'm just going to give you a tour of our product called Intune Clarity. And what is Intune Clarity? So Intune Clarity is a comprehensive platform which aims to really simplify IT operations, enhance decision making, and also optimize resource management. So what it's doing is it's integrating data from Microsoft Graph and third-party sources to provide real-time insights into things like devices, applications, compliance, and the aim is to really empower IT teams to be able to achieve more with less. And essentially what it's doing is it's really democratizing the data that is available in Microsoft Graph. It's really tucked away. So whether it's reports that are tucked away in different parts and corners of Intune, or reports and data points that aren't available in Intune out of the box. So it enables you as sort of users of Intune, or even people in companies that aren't familiar with Intune, to have access to this data. For example, a CIO or CISO may want to see specific data points, but they're not going to know how to use Intune. Or somebody that looks after device lifecycle management you're not going to want to give them access to Intune. So these reports and dashboards, they can be accessible by multiple roles, and therefore you don't have to give people access to Intune to access them. So what you're looking at here is the home dashboard, and this is designed as a top level view across your Intune estate, showing high level insights across key scenarios to identify these potential priority issues affecting your estate. So what we start with from top to bottom, so the top row is really just a summary of the devices in your estate across the various platforms that Intune supports, giving you a view of your total number of managed devices. And then when we step to the middle, we're able to see immediately which devices are currently compliant, and also what devices are not compliant. We have a brief view on Windows security update status to see, okay, we've got a number of devices on the latest, we have a number of devices on not on the latest, and devices also missing multiple security updates. So as I said, really sort of important information that where could identify priority tasks for an IT admin. We also see the distribution for operating system across the estate, and of course, if you've got a number of devices, we can see some of the details around that activity status for those devices, and how your devices are distributed across your estate. Going further down on this dashboard, we're able to see any key updates, alerts that are currently active or they've been resolved. We also have insights into blue screens of death and restarts. Luckily, we're nice and clean in here, so we don't have any in our estate. We get an average autopilot duration time, so you may have a target in your environment that you're looking to achieve, so you're able to see what the average time to deploy an autopilot device is in your estate, and also identify any failures that have taken place as well as part of those autopilot deployments. And finally, on this screen, we can see the mix between corporate devices and personal devices that you have in your estate. So what else can we do from this screen? So this tool is super rich and powerful and customizable as well. So for example, this spider web chart, it's not really doing it for me. So if I want, I can drill into it. This gives me a more zoomed in view to help me really understand how the data is being spread across my devices, but maybe it's not for me. Maybe I want something a bit more simple and straightforward, like a table. So therefore, I can change that visualization, and now it's a table on this screen. Or maybe I want it to be a bar chart. So these are the things that you can do. So you can customize any of these visualizations, change them to your needs, your requirements, to make it more readable for you if you don't like the look and feel. Another thing we can do, we're able to drill in to these data points as well. So you can see here we have this drill down option. So you can either do it from here, or you can expand the visualization and say, okay, I want to drill down into this area to understand a bit more about it. So we can start to really drill into the data. So now we're focused on errors, and we can see we've got some resolved errors and we've got some active errors. So we can drill down into the active errors, and we can see we've got 2 errors that's happening in our devices, in our estate. So for example, we've got an application blocking an upgrade, and we've got a device that has a corrupted Windows component. We can drill down further into that, and we can start to see the actual error message that was received. Maybe you want to change this into a table so it's a bit clearer. So we can see the error message, the recommendation as well, and how many devices are impacted by that particular error. So the data really allows you to drill right down into, to get to the heart of the detail. And then we've got these breadcrumbs to take us back all the way up to the top. And if we want to reset the visualization, click on Show Original and bring it back down, and we're back to where we started. So that's the home screen that gives you that overall view. But we do have more dashboards out of the box to show you. So the next one is Windows Update Insights. So this is really helping you understand how secure your Windows estate is by identifying out-of-date versions of Windows, enabling you to sort of troubleshoot any update issues you've got. So first of all, you may see on these dashboards we have like a dashboard level filter as well. So these filter apply to the entire dashboard. So maybe we just want it to apply to managed devices. So you can set that dashboard level filter if you want. So what are we seeing here? We can see the breakdown of the different versions of Windows within our estate. So the feature version, but also the update release version. So what monthly release are we on? So for example, Windows 11, 24H2, we have 6 devices that are currently running the April release. So really, as at the time of recording of this video, we have 6 devices out of 19 running the latest available version of 24H2. So they are up to date. And therefore, we have 6 other devices that are running slightly behind, a month behind, 1 device running 2 months behind, and so on and so forth. So we can see we've still got a Windows 10 device here, and that's running a rather old version of Windows 10 22H2. So that might be something we want to look at. And of course, we probably want to look at all of these other devices that are slightly out of date as well. And that can be summarized with this donut over here. So again, we can expand this and we can sort of drill into that data if you want to see the spread, and start to drill down further to see which of those devices and what cumulative update are they on. So just coming back, we can see any alerts here, which we saw on the actual home screen that we can drill into, and also such as devices not sending telemetry data. So ones you might want to look into, and we can drill into that where we have this little link symbol. We can drill into the data. So for Windows Update for Business, we can see these 4 devices are not sending diagnostic data through for us to report on Windows Update for Business. So we've got the host names, and you could export that data and start to drill into it. So We've got a few more data points on here. So we have where we've got some feature update alerts and also any devices in safeguard hold. So that's where Microsoft is holding back the update, maybe because of a particular hardware configuration. This data can be exported as well. So any dashboard or individual visualization can be exported. So we support Excel, export PDF, PowerPoint, or image, and those exports are customizable when you go through the process. So if PDF, for example, that will trigger the PDF export dialog process or wizard. And from here, you can select which pages you want to include in that export. You can edit the title. You can add your own branding, add a logo to that report, change the orientation. So a number of things you can do to customize that report to your heart's desire. The Excel export is pretty cool as well. So that's going to export. Let's say I just want to see the no diagnostic data received because I want those list of host names that I can send to the right team. So you can see here we've got the Excel file created, and I open that Excel super quick to show you. And you can see here on this table, I've got the host names, I've got the error message, and got the recommendation, and got all the other pertinent details. When was the last scan received? And so therefore I can attach that to a ticket or send that to the relevant team to get that sorted for those devices. So really handy for getting that data and then turning it into actionable insights. So just coming back up to the top, what else have we got? We've also, Microsoft kindly published the CVSS scores with each of their monthly updates. So we're able to measure our security posture based on that scoring mechanism. So we can see which, with an update, Microsoft tell us, how many CVEs are being solved with that update. So therefore we can start to understand our security posture based on that scoring around CVS. We also have this cool trends analysis here as well. So we can see which devices are on the latest and see how we're performing over a period of time. What you would likely see on this is as you get to Patch Tuesday, you would see that number of devices on the latest sort of drop and then see it build back up again. So, for example, in sort of early March, which is around the 11th, I would say, we saw that drop from 9 devices on the latest security update, and suddenly that dropped down to 3, and then over a period of time, it starts to build back up. And then on the next Patch Tuesday, it will likely drop back down again, and then build back up. So you'll see that trend over time as you hit Patch Tuesday and sort of come back up and bounce back, so to speak. On this table, we also have the detailed data for each device. So we can see, which individual device and which version of Windows they're on, and also what the CVS score is for that version of Windows they're on. So you can start to rank them in or call out devices which are potentially at risk in your estate, but also see which ones are clearly out of date. And if you want to drill into a device, you can. We have that data, so you can open the device drill down from here, and we can start to look at this device or really focus and zoom in on this device, so we can see the detail, the OS versions, the enrollment data, the WFB data, how this device is performing, any issues we need to be concerned about, any concerns around the hardware, free storage space, etc. And we also have an inventory of the applications that are installed on this device as well. So all very cool and handy bits of data. From here, we can also pivot to different devices. So we can select a different device. So select this VM, for example, and then we can see, okay, here's all the details of this VM, no applications installed. but we can see the details. So you can pivot to any device from this view. So that was the Windows Update Insight. So really it's focusing on those monthly cumulative updates and really your security posture from a Windows update and security update perspective. Next up, we have the feature update insights. So from here, we're able to see how we're performing across the Windows feature updates. So see specific things if there are any issues with devices and not receiving updates. So this is very much tied to those Windows feature update policies that you define in Intune, and therefore those devices that are targeted at those feature update policies will be assessed for compatibility for that feature update that's selected. So we can see a bunch of stuff here around the WFB sync status, and there is a trend here. I think I can show a different view where that trend looks like with a different data set. So you can see here, you'll be able to see, okay, what are the versions of Windows running in my estate over a period of time. So again, if you have multiple different feature releases across your estate reporting into WFB, you will see those trends change over time as you move up through the feature releases of Windows. So that's not coming through in this tenant at the moment, but that's fine. In here, we also have almost a view to help with deployment planning, for example. So let's say this is targeting Windows 24 H2. So we can see, okay, we've got 7 devices that are targeted at that policy, and that have received the update. So 7 have already updated, and we've got 1 in the low risk category. 1 is recommending to replace that device, potentially not supported by 24H2, and then we've got an unknown error here as well. And we can start to drill into some of that data as well here, so we can see which devices are nearing end of support that need to be looked at. We can also see these are our targeted OS release, so our feature update policies, and these are the number of devices that we've targeted at those feature update policies. So really, this is all focused around planning those feature update rollouts. We also have upgrade readiness check. So in here, we would see typically, okay, these devices are being checked across these areas. So this is how Intune and the Windows Update for Business service will check a device readiness for a feature update. So here Windows will do a number of checks across these areas. Check secure boot, check TPM chip, for example, make sure the CPU chipset is supported with that version of Windows. Are you meeting the minimum requirements, etc.? So any issues with those checks will pop up in this table, and then here we'll be able to see, okay, on a device basis, device by device basis, okay, what's the targeted version and what's the current version of Windows. And you can see we've got some oddities in here. For example, this poor old device is on the latest version of Windows 11. However, we've got a targeted policy trying to get it down to Windows 10 21H2. So of course that was cancelled, obviously. But you can see these sorts of states in this deployment information. Again, you can drill into this and scroll through that data and filter it, sort it to your heart's desire to get the view that you want to. And then finally, we've got one final view here, pivot table view, where we can see a breakdown of all of the different versions of Windows in our estate and the different editions of Windows as well, and how that's spread across different manufacturers of devices. So it could be a useful view across your estate to see the different manufacturers and the different versions and editions of Windows in your estate. Okay. So that's so far Home Dashboard, Windows Update Insights, and Feature Update Insights. I will cover some other dashboards in another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.